Hey everybody, this is Dr. Reyes-Fournier again, and we are going to go to the library to find your research paper. Okay, disregard the giggling in the back. That's my son, who I already threatened with, posting him on my videos so that you guys can make fun of him. Okay, so, library. Let's go back. See if you see that under my studies, you see library. Click on that. And here you have welcome to the Purdue University Global Library, where you will put your keywords. Note how it says keywords. You could also find articles by author or title if you already know what it is. So, right here on the bottom it says peer-reviewed. Make sure to click on that because you want peer-reviewed articles. You don't want magazines. You don't want a book. You want a peer-reviewed article. Let's see, some keywords that you want to look for are, thinking about, since I teach in the addiction program, let's talk about marijuana, for example. Marijuana and treatment, just for fun. Let's see. Ooh, marijuana treatment for anxiety. That sounds fun. Let's look at that. And notice how I didn't really just, paint over these, keywords. It's just what makes sense. You want these words to be either part of the title or part of what they're looking at. Now, before you even look at one of the 48,000 articles that come up, I want you to look at the side here. On the left-hand side, you will see that this search also limited this search from 1928, for articles posted in 1928, to currently in 2018. I'm going to make sure that it only shows me things that were published within the last 10 years. That didn't really reduce it by much, but the idea is that I don't want to see articles that are not current and not valid anymore at this point. Okay, how do you find a research article? Okay, there are certain words that you're going to look at, but unfortunately the only way that you're going to be able to find a research article is if you go into it and look at the realities of these articles. So let's look at the influence of anxiety sensitivity on opioid use disorder treatment outcomes. Now, that is a great title and probably a research article, because they're looking at outcomes and they're showing you what their variables were. This one has the PDF, so that's fantastic. Makes it easy. Let's look at the abstract. Okay, given the high rates of relapse, blah, blah, blah. Now, one of the ways you find out if it's a research article, the normal thing to look at is in their abstract, they will usually mention some form of math. Okay, if they use the word results revealed, then this is a research article. I am not going to completely judge it to be a research article until I look at the PDF. When I open the PDF, here we are. How lovely, they actually give you the reference right there. This is a lousy way of saying it, but this is not a citation. A citation would just be in our parlance. Okay, when we talk about a citation and a reference, this is a reference. This is a full reference. The citation is just the author last names and the year that it was published. Okay, don't get them confused the way they did. This was published in the American Psychological Association journal, which means this is a really good article. Experimental and Clinical Psychopharmacology, fantastic article. And actually, since I am the course lead for psychopharmacology in the addiction program, I'm actually going to use this article. Okay, so influence of anxiety sensitivity on opioid use disorder treatment outcomes. I'm not even bothering to read it. What I'm doing is looking, and here is the method section. The method section is telling me that they actually are telling you what the procedure is that they used on this. This is showing me that it is a research article. They have participants. They're telling you how many. N is our Code is our abbreviation of participants in a study. So a capital N of 90 equals 90 means that there was 90 participants. And don't be upset about 90. The reality is that if it's a small study, if they don't have a lot of variables, 90 could be enough for them to have a significant enough sample. And they use the DSM-5. This is all sounding really good. And so then they're talking about how they did everything. They're showing you now, what did I mention in your last video, that they have measures. These are all the measures that they used. Fantastic. Now, as a researcher, I'm going to say, because they use so many measures, I would have had more participants personally. But I don't know what kind of math they use to come up with the number of participants. They have a procedure. Note how many pages that they're spending on telling you exactly how they did this. That's what a research article does. They spend more time telling you how they did something than actually what they did. Okay, so the results, here's the math that I mentioned. Lots of math, beautiful math, lots of numbers. What does it mean? Well, you'll find out. For those of you taking statistics, you're going to find out. I know it seems overwhelming, but the reality is, once you understand what all these little numbers mean, you're not that impressed. And I'm not seeing, really impressive numbers. This one's okay. Let's see. So then they do the withdrawal outcomes, the treatment engagement outcomes, relapse outcomes. These are all the outcomes, lots and lots of results. And then they write, where's the title? Oh, can't even find the title for the last bit. So they just went from results to, oh, there's the discussion. I'm sorry. The discussion explains what did they find. And they go through each part of it and they tell you what they found. So you don't have to freak out about the math. You could read the discussion and it'll tell you exactly what they found in their research. And in many cases, they're going to say, well, this wasn't that significant. However, this was, and this is what it means, what we think it means. And they're also going to tell you what they did wrong. That's what they're supposed to do in a discussion, that how they would have fixed this. If they're going to do this again, how they're going to fix it. And then showing more stuff, all of this stuff. So this is all your discussion. And note the last sentence of it is, however, more work is needed to further understand anxiety sensitivity within opiate use disorder treatment. Okay, that's all what all these codes mean. That's their last sentence. That's always how usually we end up our articles, saying that we need to explore this further, or we want to research this in the future. Then they go through their references and note how many references they used on this. This is when they received the article. This is when it was revised. This is when it was accepted. This is a good research article. Now, I will, before you go ahead and download here, you click that, give it a title, AS in OUD, because I understand what that means, and I download that. Also, most importantly, get your citation. Get your APA reference right here. Already done for you. You don't have to sweat it. It's right there. Okay? And note what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it back into the classroom. I'll put it in an announcement so you will see how this works. Open, new announcement. And there you go. Now in a good one, it should look like that. Right? Unfortunately, because of the way that Brightspace does things, it probably won't look like that when I post it. Okay? That is it. If you have any other questions about using the library, email me and I'll walk you through it. This is your friend. You could do this. It's all about the keywords. And that's about it. Questions? Email me. Bye.